What's going on, guys? It's Friday. That means another episode of Loot Chest on Tasty Loot Gaming. In case you don't know what Loot Chest is a show where we talk about a random topic and essentially just have a dialogue about it. Today's topic is going to be what games that already exist would we want to not necessarily be an HD remake, but just reimagined, almost like the Twin Snakes remake of Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
And other things like that. Also, in case you don't know who we are, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And so I asked Chevy to pick two games that he would like to bring back, fully reimagined, not HD textures, blah, 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 just completely remade from the ground up. And I also have two. So, let's start off with you. What's your first one?
So, the first one is not so much, I don't think I want it reimagined too much, because I think the product itself was really good, though it would be nice to see it modernized, updated features, stuff like that. And that's actually Suikoden 2.
Okay.
Suikoden 2.
Yeah.
I know it's one of the old RPGs that a lot of people who have at least played it have they rave about. I played it myself. I beat it. Really awesome game. The one thing it offers that a lot don't is multiple game modes. Like, it's not just the turn-based combat system, and then a storyline. It's also got a strategy battle mode, and then it has your kingdom, micromanagement, and you have over 100 playable characters, and it's just got so much content to it. They could take that and put it on such a bigger level now. And I don't mean like the way they did the 3D Suikodens later, but take Suikoden 2 and just start with a new style and everything, and just make it a bigger thing.
That was actually leading me into my next question, and I kind of want to keep this in mind for all of these. What new things would you like to see brought to it? And I don't necessarily mean like changing the game, but like what could a game nowadays offer it, but what would you like to keep the same?
So, things that I think could help a game like that, since it is a game that is heavily based on recruitment, conversation system, similar to like Mass Effect, Dragon Age, and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
So instead of just going up to someone and being the right time, the right place, and they just join your army, actually having to convince people to join your army for your cause.
Yeah.
I think that would add a little more depth to the gameplay.
Absolutely. People would feel more attached to the characters.
Yeah. I think the combat system was perfect where it's at. At least the turn-based stuff is nice. That you get your front and your back row, so they can leave that alone. Maybe the tactical stuff, just update a little bit, make it a little more friendly. Maybe even add more of a tactical feel to it.
Yeah.
And then your castle, maybe add an actual building system to it where you collect resources and actually upgrade your castle and stuff. Those would be features I think that would just add on to it and make you feel more like you are owning a kingdom.
Sure. So, that makes sense. And obviously you want graphics to look better.
Well, yeah, I'd love to see it in crisp 3D, and not. I think the way they did the 3D with later titles, I didn't like it. It didn't look good. So.
Yeah, no, that I wouldn't have even have thought of that one. I don't really have a whole lot of experience with the original anyway.
Yeah.
But it is one of the old greats or whatever. It makes sense to bring that one back, and I actually would want to play that. It sounds actually really cool.
Major problem: Konami's not going to do it. So.
Oh, it's a Konami game.
It's a Konami game.
It's not going to happen. And no, that's a good pick. So my first one is Time Splitters. Let's go with Time Splitters 2.
Okay.
I'd like to see it happen to any of them, but I know there's a fan-made Time Splitters, I believe 3 or 1 or something like that, that's being made with a Crytek engine that Crytek actually said was fine that they could do that, which is weird to hear a company do that. And because they own it,
right?
But that's essentially just an HD looking game, so that's cool. But I would like to see an actual remake of it, not necessarily reimagining because I like the style, but that game is so ahead of its time that I feel like it would be right at home nowadays. It offered so much fucking content. map editors, a campaign, a lot of side stuff, a shitload of unlocks. The things I think it would benefit from is obviously graphics. Up the fucking graphics, make the game look crispy as shit. The cartoony style could really pop with smoother, shapes, better lighting, more vibrant colors, more detail. Obviously, add like online, because the other ones, I think 3 had online, but it sucked.
Yeah, we've come a lot farther now.
Yeah.
With that. So.
Keep the same content, if not add more. Obviously, add a leveling system. Doesn't have to be Call of Duty, but have some kind of progression to it. But keep those core mechanics alive. I would not necessarily want to jump to the game, but if they added one, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe do some kind of creative, because the games have to do with time travel. Maybe do some kind of creative thing with meta type, like
there's a lot of stuff.
Time travel that has to do with the game itself, maybe would be kind of interesting too. Maybe revisit the older games.
Okay.
In the newer one or something like that would be fucking crazy. I think they could have a really fun time with that fucking game and make it a blast. And I think people love the games then, but they weren't as well known. I think nowadays they do really well.
Yeah, one, and what I was going to say was there's a lot of essentially like pop culture and stuff like that that's happened since the last iteration of the game. Yeah. So they'd have a lot of stuff to like just kind of pull from to add into the humor side of the game. And also, I mean, there's a lot of shooters that have kind of like really changed the way shooters work too, and they could very easily find features that match without compromising
definitely
the game. So.
Well, and like the only game that really offers the same amount of content as like a Time Splitters or maybe a Battlefield is Call of Duty. And Call of Duty is the fucking king. I feel like Time Splitters have done correctly and made it in a way that everyone could enjoy, which I feel like they could. I think it would do well. Also, aim down sights. That'd be kind of nice, even though the game strayed away from that. You could look down scopes. Like a sniper rifle, but like
I don't think it hurted to add that though.
Yeah, it's just the game, kind of like Battlefront, didn't have those things, which is fun. Well, I don't actually remember if there is iron sights or not. I don't think there is. But yeah, that'd be cool. They had vehicles in 3, which is really neat. I don't know. I just think it's like I said, it was a game ahead of its time. It's very avant-garde. If it was released now, with all that stuff added to it, completely remade from the ground up, I think it would just be right at home. Feel like just a game nowadays.
Yeah. No, yeah. Now that you said it, it doesn't surprise me, but you kind of caught me off guard when you said it at first.
Yeah, I did myself too, because I wasn't. When I came into this originally, I had one thing, and that's going to be my last one. But with that, what's your second one?
My second one is actually Shining Force from Sega Genesis.
That's really fucking weird because I actually thought of that one too.
It's one game that I always go back to, and I don't like beat it every time I go back to it, but I always go back to it and I play a little bit because I have like really good memories of playing that game, and every time I play it, it's still fun.
It's still, dude, yeah, it's dope. It's a really good RPG.
I would like to see a complete like visual change to it in the regards of like I would love it to be like fully rendered in 3D, but keep the top down angle until you get into when the person takes a turn on attack, then zoom that camera in and get that nice 3D view of the attack happen, and then zoom back out for the tactical part.
Which would be really cool. That's what I would want to see, those fully rendered 3D fight scenes.
No, yeah, it'd be cool as hell. I mean, it'd be kind of similar to like how Fire Emblem does, where
I'm coming right off the Fire Emblem train, so that sounds cool to me.
Once again, conversation style recruitment, because that game had situational recruitment, and I think the next step, which we use now, is the conversation thing. I don't think it hurts any game to have that. It makes the game a little longer, makes it a little more interesting because you can have decision stuff like that. More playable characters and the more optional characters besides just the core characters.
Definitely.
A good example of that would be right in the first battle there. If you leave and go to the house of that monk that's just hanging out there, you don't have to get him.
Yeah.
But,
more optional characters for sure, because it wouldn't necessarily change the story.
An expanded class system.
That'd be cool.
More classes or more advanced classes to choose from. Maybe even add like a tree system Just make it a more in-depth experience to make you sink more time into it, essentially. Side quests, the game is very linear. It'd be cool if like random like NPCs, or even like, I'm gonna steal from Mass Effect and Dragon Age again, but as you get closer to your companions, let's say maybe they have something that's happening in their life that they need help with, type of thing.
Definitely. Yeah, do quests based off that relationship.
I mean, that's pretty much what I got for that one. But yeah, I would love to see, and I would, you don't even have to change the story, modernize it, but don't really change it.
Definitely. I will say that game, I would literally just kind of, because like you said, I can go back and play the game still. I still think it's really fun. I think it's a really underappreciated game that people don't talk about. People are like, Sega didn't have any good games. And Sega had a lot of good games. You just didn't play it because you only had the one console. No, it's a really good one. I would definitely play that game even if it was the exact same thing with better graphics.
Yeah.
The biggest thing out of all that I would really want is just those rendered 3D fight scenes, because I actually really like it in Fire Emblem.
Oh, it's cool.
And they could look way better on like a newer console.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, that's definitely a good one. It's funny because like I said, I was kind of going through a list of games, older games, and I was trying to figure one out. I was like, oh, Shining Force would be a good one, but I'm not really that seasoned on that game to be saying what should be changed, what should be upgraded, blah, blah, blah. So I know you've played it more than I have. I've played it plenty, but I've never beaten it. I've seen you beat it when we were younger. Yeah, anything else on that one?
No. I mean, it pretty much covered it on that. I mean, that was the first one that came to mind when you brought up the topic to me.
That's so funny. I would not have expected that one.
Just because...
I thought it was going to be a Final Fantasy or something.
Well, I mean, realistically, my top game would be Final Fantasy VII. They're doing it, so...
It's coming out.
Thank you.
That fucking trump card
just don't fuck
that's been
it up,
talked about
please.
for so long. Yeah, no, just don't fuck it up. That's all they got to do. Just don't make it bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also one of mine. Final Fantasy VII. I would also like to see, and this is a whole other thing, but like Final Fantasy VI completely remade, because I never really got into that one, so it'd be cool to see that.
It's supposed to be amazing. I didn't beat that one either.
I'd love to see 9.
And I was gonna say 9.
Because 9 is another underappreciated game. But we'll do more episodes like this again, and we'll talk about those all over again. But my last one, you can probably guess it.
Probably not, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to cheat. It's 2, kind of.
Okay.
Metal Gear 1 and 2.
Okay. I should have guessed that.
Should have guessed that, for sure. Okay, so Kojima or Konami, somebody has already talked about, before all this stupid shit, that there was interest in remaking those, and that would have been great, especially after coming off of the Phantom Pain. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of unanswered at the end of that, and I'm not going to go into that because you haven't beaten it, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. But I feel like they could almost fix that if they just made Metal Gear, like just a brand new, on the new Fox engine, Metal Gear with great graphics, following the same story that's actually very simplistic. The original Metal Gear story is actually just a really simple story that's been built upon from the games after. Right. It's really interesting to see that. But just make it fit and mold to the story that's been built around it. Add to it, make it more interesting. But what I want to see is infiltrating Outer Heaven, Zanzibar Land and shit in full 3D fucking graphics. That'd be amazing. I want more fucking cinematics than fucking Phantom Pain gave. But I want those core gameplay elements that Phantom Pain had. Obviously, be playing Assault Snake when he's younger. So I don't think he'd be Fultoning people out. They could maybe do something with that. I don't know, but they'd have to go back to a more single person experience. But they could still keep progression systems that you're working for, Foxhound, all that shit. And if they did the 2, they could actually kind of explain the difference between the big boss from Metal Gear, the big boss from Metal Gear 2.
Yeah.
Because spoiler alert, you kill him at the end of Metal Gear, and then he's back in Metal Gear 2. So it'd be cool to kind of see how and why that happened, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like I said, I'd love to see better graphics and better systems in place. I think Phantom Pain is the best playing Metal Gear Solid
I think
that exists.
everyone would agree with you.
and coming as a Metal Gear Solid fan, I love them all. They all play great to me.
Yeah.
That one just plays really well. It just allows you to do so much shit. Everything will be upgraded, obviously. It's a fucking 2D NES game. So, better soundtrack, of course, that would happen. It'd also be really cool to see the original Metal Gear rendered in, like, 3D and to see them. Because, like, all I've ever seen is, like, the fucking 2D picture of this box.
Well, and, you know, they'd be able to take that and, like you kind of had started with, the storyline could be not obviously changed, but tweaked to fit in better.
Well, they would just have to build on it.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the original story is very simple.
Yeah.
You infiltrate a place to stop Metal Gear. You find out the fucking big boss is the guy who's fucking running the place, and you fucking defeat him, essentially.
Right.
Now we have so much more information about that scenario from the other games that you could just keep that basic structure and then just build upon it.
Yeah.
Add those little things that make it very Metal Gear Solid. Obviously, it'd be Metal Gear though.
Right.
It's just really cool to see all that. That'd be my fucking dream. That would complete the whole fucking story. And of course, only if Kojima was involved with it. I wouldn't want to see anyone else touch that.
No, absolutely not. I do find it unfortunate that each of us picked a Konami game.
You said the Konami thing on your first one, and I was kind of hinting towards mine, but I was like, I don't want to talk about that one yet, because that was going to be the last one.
It's crazy. They had this catalog.
Yep.
Now they have nothing. They have
Castlevania.
They have a soccer game.
Yeah, they had Castlevania, they had DDR, which
pachinko machines.
They'll do fine with DDR, because I'm sure they'll keep those up, but over in Japan at least. But yeah, it's stupid. That's a whole. I mean, we've covered that a million times. But yeah, no, that'd be my fucking dream. That's a dream scenario. I know will never happen. Just like Suikoden, that's not going to happen.
No, I was actually surprised that it ended up getting put on the PlayStation 3. I bought it immediately. So.
Oh, did it? Mm-hmm. Get released on there? I've never played it. I don't think.
I have it, so
I'd have to check it out.
Yeah.
But
I think if you got into it, you would have a hard time not playing it because, like I said, it has a lot of strategy elements in it.
Yeah, and I love that.
And 100 and some characters to choose from, so
it's almost overwhelming.
Yeah. It also has multiple endings, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, like, RPGs used to be these massive things.
Yeah.
And they're just not anymore.
It's funny how all the systems in RPGs are still there, but they've shrunk it down to give you a more precise experience. Whereas before there was all this like freedom to find characters.
They're too busy trying to make it look gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
this is a whole other conversation, though.
I have one honorable mention, if I may.
No, absolutely.
Not PSO, but Phantasy Star. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And PSO.
Well, I wanted to keep the MMO away. I just wanted to stick to the core ones because the original 3 Phantasy Stars were first person combat, like very old school, like PC role playing game style ones.
Yeah.
And then Phantasy Star 4 was more of a traditional style, but there was so much there, which obviously was enough for them to create this huge, MMO experience multiple times.
I love those games,
and they were just really cool. So without going into super details, that is something I would like to see modernized and redone. So,
definitely. Honorable mention, real quick. The original Silent Hill. I know they did do it, and they did a bad job. So do it again.
Fox engine.
Exactly. Silent Hills. Use that engine. Let Kojima touch it. Just give Kojima back the Fox engine.
And give him rights to properties.
I would love that fucking shit. I would love to see Silent Hill again, like rendered in great graphics and keep like the true spirit of it. I don't know. That'd be fucking amazing. And it's depressing that I know it's not going to happen. But yeah.
I think it covers it.
Well, that's about it. Okay. Well, let us know in the comments below what game you would like to see completely remade from the ground up.
And how.
Tell us all about it in the comments below. I really want to know because there's so many fucking games that exist that should be back. Not like brought back, as like, oh, we already covered that. But, just the classics. I would love to see those come back. And yeah, let us know. But thank you as always for watching Loot Chest on Tasty Loot Gaming. Make sure to check us out on Tumblr and Twitter, Tasty Loot Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division, all one word. And as always, my name's Seth.
And I'm Chevy.
And have a good weekend, guys. Take it easy.